So with us today is a really young, beautiful lady that has recently published a book. So in the Gambia, it's quite odd to see young people doing a lot of reading, and to have someone that has actually went to the extent of writing a whole book and getting it published. It's really something astounding. So we're gonna have a really interactive discussion with her today, and hopefully she'll tell us what really inspires her and what really got her into writing. So Hadijatu Job, thank you for accepting our invitation.
You're welcome.
And would you just give us like a brief bio about you?
Okay, hey guys, I'm Hadijatu Job, a native from Fali Kunda. I am a Nusrat student currently in grade 10. I'm going to grade 11 next academic year. I am 17 years old and I am one of the youngest Gambian writers currently. Yeah, I wrote 2 books, The Broken Homes and The Successful Dreams. And this one was published 2 years back, 2021, and this one is a recently published one. I just published it last week, Saturday, on the 29th of July. Yeah.
Wow, that's really incredible. So you said you published this one, was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So at what age did you really start writing?
I can say I started writing at the age of 13, but I get to publish my first book at the age of 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this one was when you were in grade 8,
Yeah.
2 years ago. So can you just take us through this book, Successful Dreams? Can you tell us something about it?
Of course. The Successful Dreams is a novel that talks about education, poverty, and determination towards achieving one's goal. Like, reading this book, you can come across a lot of things whereby the protagonist of the book faced a lot of challenges because he was poor and then got to live with parents who are naturally disabled and weren't able to afford all he needed for his education. But because he was determined, reading this book, you'll get to know how he succeeded to all those challenges in life. Yeah, it's not easy when you're poor and educated. You see how expensive things are, and schooling is just so expensive. But reading it, you get to know how he came over all those challenges. Yeah.
So what really inspired you to write this?
Yeah, I can say I was inspired by my family to come over with this book because I can say a bit of this book talk about my family, not exactly, but a bit of it. So I get inspired by my family to go ahead with this book.
Wow, that's really amazing. So how many months did it take you to write this book? Or was it years or days?
No,
What was
I
the
can
duration?
say it took me about 10 months because it was during the COVID break, and then I utilized that period to do something creative. And I started it before the COVID break, but then I spent most of my time during the COVID break writing this one, and then I was done maybe 2 months after the COVID break. Then I go ahead with the publishing.
Wow, interesting. So can you just tell us about the publication? How easy was it, like getting a publishing house, and was it really expensive trying to get someone to accept your writing?
Yeah, it was a big challenge because it was my first book, and then I didn't get experience. And I can say I got it published at Baba Printers, and it was authorized at the National Library. And it took about months before I get that because financially it was a bit hard because I didn't get money by then, and then I get to meet most of these NGOs. But I can say I was helped by the Ministry of Youth and Sports and also CPA, that is Child Protection Act.
So was it easy to get access to the Minister of Youth and Sports to help you with your publication?
Not really, because the minister, I can say everything about youth and young people, he's always in for it. So I brought my letter there and then booked an appointment to meet him. It wasn't difficult to meet him though. I met him and then everything was just amazing because he decided to help. And of course, he was the chief launcher. Then he gave me a handsome package of money, I can say, to go ahead with the printing. Yeah, that was it. But it wasn't difficult to meet him.
Okay. Seems there's really good happening in the country.
Yeah.
So there's a general saying that to be a good writer, you have to be someone that reads like really well. You need to read lots of information and reading other novels and books. Is that the case? Or is it that writers are just born naturally?
I can say it can be something like a gift that, or a talent, or maybe passion, I can call it, because not all writers really read. But the saying goes, reading, a writer should be reading is that when you read as a writer, you get more experience, you travel, you explore, because writers write about their environment. And you getting to read other novels from other writers, you get more experience, and like it's as if you're in that particular environment there. And with that, it will assist you to know how to write and maybe words to use when writing. It's really meaningful to be reading, but not exactly that all writers do read, like more reading. Yeah, sure. But for me, I know I do read. I do read very well. I read other novels from different other writers, Gambian writers, Nigerian, sure. But I don't know of others. But I don't think that's actually the case. Some people are just gifted and then can just write.
So some people are really gifted, but I believe too one can really work on their writing and actually be a good writer.
Yeah, sure.
So, okay, can you also tell us this recent publication of yours? Like, this is the one I'm actually interested more in.
Yeah.
But I like this one too, Successful Dreams, and I really wish I can read. I can make some time to read this. The Broken Home, really interesting title. So, what is it really based on? And did you like? Is it really that fiction? Did you like think of a certain family? Is it personal to you? Or
No,
did
not
you
really.
just-
It's fiction. It's fiction, yeah, but kind of truth element, because when you read it, you get to know that it's depicting our society. Because I get to write this book because I see a lot of broken homes in our society from my friends experiencing broken homes because maybe their parents are separated. So I get to write about it because I with the intention of fixing a lot of other broken homes in the future, because we're the ones coming to be parents. So I can say, reading this book, you get to know that there are certain things our parents are doing that are really distracting us at school level, outside. Then getting to read this book, you will get to know how it is actually. Yeah. But this book is about separation of families and parents going like that, leaving their children alone. And this, looking at it at the school level, it's really distracting most of us. Most of my friends and seniors get to go through this thing because their parents are either divorced, maybe their parents pass away, or they're not with their parents due to unavoidable circumstances. Yeah, that's why I get to write this.
So how long did it take you to write this?
This I can say, I can remember about 1 year, 2 months. Yeah, because I was done with it when I was in grade 9, but I got to pack everything because I was about to do my exams until now.
So is it the same publishing house that published
Yeah,
it
it's the
too?
same Barber Printers that this.
Barber Printers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so where do you usually sell these books?
Yeah, you can get my books at Timbuktu Bookshop. I can say this one. This one I did not take it to Timbuktu Bookshop. Maybe by next week. It's also available online, Amazon, like Kindle Publishing. So you can access this book.
Oh, okay. So how profitable is this selling books, especially in the Gambia? Do
Gambia.
Gambians buy books? Like,
Not
What's
really.
your experience?
Not really, but I can say getting it sold at the market is not only the profitable area, but getting to inspire more of younger people is one of the most profitable areas when it comes to writing. Because I can say writing is a wall, and getting to inspire people to join that wall is something really meaningful. But when it comes to the marketing area, Gambians don't read. At times you write because you get the talent and you want to speak on behalf of your failures, but not really that Gambians will buy and you get something out of it. Though people read, but not as other countries do. Because getting to publish your book and putting it online, you see that other countries like Nigeria, Canada, Japan out there are buying your books, but not like Gambians are. And yeah, you know, that will obviously show you that Gambians are not really readers.
Yeah, that's really true.
Yeah, and we'll have getting more other writers, but because we don't have readers, it's hard.
So as a writer, like how do you think you can actually help young people like you to actually indulge in reading?
Yeah, the very way I can help, like, is to make sure that they're all encouraged to go ahead with it, and then only if the government comes, like, build more other libraries, and the children will get access to it. Some people want to read it, but maybe they will not get the money to buy it. That might be the case. But looking at it, when the government comes and build up more other libraries, buy books from we the authors, Gambian writers, and put it in that library, children's coming to read it there, will get more other like experience to become writers. Sure. that will help.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So, do you have like a book club or something that you use to encourage other
No,
people?
no, I don't have that.
Is there a book club in your school?
Yeah, we have library committee.
Library committee.
Yeah,
So
at my
there's no
school.
really a book club there.
No, there's no book club, but we have library committee whereby people are really enlightened about reading and how it's essential. Yeah.
So do you have any dreams of seeing your book being used by WAEC?
Yeah, sure. I can say that is one of the ways the government can like help the Gambian young people to become writers. Because looking at the books the Gambian use, the literature books, I can say most of the books are not written by Gambians but by Nigerians. But when the government use our books as Gambian authors and then other Gambian children get to read it, they'll be really inspired because seeing me at this young age and I get to write this, they also want to join me do it. Some people get the passion, but they did not realize it because they're not reading novels from Gambians. Yeah, sure. And I guess that is a very easy way to access Gambian writers when it is like in the literature books and everybody can read it. Yeah.
So do you also like engage in other forms of other forms of literature, or is it that you just do novels, no poetry,
Yeah.
drama?
I do write poems, but I never try to publish it. Like looking at this book, I get one poetry inside it, but I'm not that good at it. I just try, but I'm more of writing stories.
So
like
this is more
prose.
like your niche.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
not actually
nice.
like poetry. I like poetry, but I'm not really good at it. Maybe I can write it, but when it comes to reciting it, I don't get the skills that much.
Everybody with what you can do.
Mm.
So how much do you really sell this book?
Yeah, I am selling this one at $300, but this one is $200.
200.
Yeah, you can get it cheaper at schools because schools at times buy it and then make a discount for the students.
So do you like sell it wholesale when you're giving it to school?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
So at Timbuktu you get it like 300 and 200.
yeah.
So how about online? Is it the same price online?
No, online it's $7. Yeah,
$7.
looking at it on the American price, it's $7. But any other country that you go into, it depends on the country you're buying it from.
Oh.
$7.
Okay, so this is a personal question. I'm just interested. Like, who is your favorite author? It can be a Gambian or a non-Gambian.
Yeah, actually, sorry to say this, but it's not a Gambian. Like,
I mean, do we even have much Gambian? Yeah,
we have
writers.
Gambian.
Yeah,
We have a
do.
lot of them. We have ML, H. Musaf, we have Michael Hamadi Seka. Yeah, we have Jika Fja, we have Sophia too. Yeah. But I can say my favorite writer is Chinua because I get to read most of his work. Yeah. I can't remember most of the novels, but most of these novels I read is from Chinua. I can say my first inspiration because I read a novel about him and then I was inspired. Just his bio inspired me.
So, what's your favorite book?
Yeah, I can say my favorite book. I can't remember the author exactly because it's a big you know this Nigerians, but it's The Second Class Citizens.
Oh, Second Class.
I like that book so much, and I just keep on reading it. Second Class Citizens. Yeah.
So that too is not Gambian.
No, that one is not a Gambian, but I read a lot of Gambian novels too.
Yeah. So this is really good, and I hope like more young people will be inspired. But what would you want to say to like other young people out there who really want to write a book someday, but they do not really have the inspiration? They're just sitting there and like, it's gonna be a waste of time or something. They don't really want to take up a pen and write.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just going through a writer's block and they don't even know how to overcome it. What is your advice for those people out there?
Yeah, my advice to the aspiring writers, I can say, is that we have to be reading because through reading, I can say myself, through reading, I get this dream and I am here today. So reading can really motivate us, and maybe at times you get to write about things you experience that are really amazing, that when you bring it together, you can make something out of it. Because like writing sometimes can be boring to people who cannot do it. Or reading can also be boring because people time it as something really bored. That's why they don't read. But it's just the mentality. When you're reading something that is not interesting, it's actually going to be boring. But reading things that are interesting, really, not really reading novels, but maybe you can be coming across quotes, you can be reading those things, and then it will really help you to build up things when you're writing. So I can say reading, yeah, reading your favorites, I can say, not only novels but your favorites can really help.
So how has the support been from like your school and friends? How have they been supportive with
Yeah,
your publications?
yeah, my school have been supportive, but I can say my friends are actually the best. And then Child Protection Alliance is also with me from the beginning of the first book up to now. They also helped me publish this one with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. I can say these are the four. I can say four: my family, my school, my friends, and this administration like the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Child Protection Alliance. I get help from these people. My friends, I can say thank you so much to my family, my friends, and my school, and also these people.
So do you have the intention of writing more books this year or like in the coming years?
Yeah, sure. I don't want these two books to be the first and the last books I'll be writing.
Yeah.
I want to get more other write-ups because looking at the environment, you want to write about a lot of things. Yeah.
So yeah, that's really. So Hadijatu, can you just tell us like some of the challenges that you had to go through while writing these books?
Yeah, it's obvious. As an author, most of the times you face a lot of financial challenges because I can say writing it is the easiest part of the publishing process because when you're done, you get to need a lot of money, but to get it is the issue. But I can say financial issue was one of the main challenges, and getting to market these books in the Gambia was also a challenge. But thank God that some schools are really ready to help. Yeah.
So while writing it, did you go through any writer's block? Was there at some point where you were like, I cannot do this anymore? You did not go
I
through
just
that?
started it and then it was so
It went
smooth on me.
smoothly.
Yeah.
So these characters, there's like Salamata and Jailani, beautiful names.
Yeah.
Like did you just sit and just say, okay, these are the names I'm using, or was there like any sort of inspiration that you got?
No, I just wanted to use these names because, like, I can say, writing sometimes I don't want to use names of my closest people because they might feel sometimes offended because there are some characters that a friend might not want to read. So I sometimes sit and imagine some names that are not part of my circle and use them instead. Yeah.
So when will your next book be published? Or is it too soon to ask?
No, not really. For sure, I want to publish another book before 20. Yeah, if possible.
So before
Inshallah,
finishing high
yeah.
school, we're awaiting another book.
Yeah, or maybe after my grade 12 exams.
Another
No
book.
one knows. Yeah.
Wow. So thank you very much. This was Hadijatu Diop for us, and she has been really inspiring. I hope this will encourage more young people to actually get engaged in writing and read. Yes, one thing I think you should also emphasize that people really do have to read to get like an idea and to have a lot of knowledge on what they can write.
Sure.
So read and write, and that advice also goes to me and Zainab right there. So thank you very much, Hadijatu. This was really interactive, and it has been an inspiring session here. Thank you very much, and
Thank
we
you
really
too.
hope to have a part 2 where we will go through the books and really give you guys an insight into all the books.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you.